Good evening, it's Girl. Got well, what is this? A Tier 8 game in my Atlanta. Going over the matchmaking threats to my ship, the Parsifal, basically the battleships, the cruisers, practically everything overmatches me. Um, and it's one of those things, you're really squishy ship, and that can be a benefit as well as a negative. We've got a 1DD match, or two, excuse me, 2DD matchmaking. And unfortunately I don't have a destroyer around me. So I'm going to talk a bit about Atlanta, the future of this ship if just the captain's rework goes into effect. If you look at the mini map, you're going to notice 11.1 kilometer main battery range. Youch. So if as it's looking right now, the captain skill rework is going to remove advanced firing training from all cruisers. If that happens, ships that have basically destroyer caliber guns, they're going to lose out on one of their core skills that I believe that they've been balanced around. I believe that wargaming will fix this. I believe that these ships will probably receive a range upgrade comparable to what they were before. However, if they don't, let's talk about some gameplay options. And the first thing I gotta say, if you're gonna be bringing this ship without AFT, it's all about the damage, baby. I'm running. I'll double check this captain because I've got two Atlantas and they have slightly different builds. One of them is IFHE with demolition expert, no basic firing training. The other is basic firing training, demolition expert. Let me confirm what's on this captain. I want to say that my black has the IFHE and demolition expert. So came up here, just taking a look around, letting my CV do some spotting for me. Gonna throw some shots out here on the Dallas. And I'm looking at the mini map right now, and I'm seeing this Massachusetts. Anytime you see a brawling battleship, they have a tendency to go YOLO. And I'm seeing that my Atlanta is basically acting like bait. So I am inclined to come out here and try to turn this one-on-one between my Alabama and the Massachusetts into a two-on-one, uh, helping out. Now, what I want to do, I want I want to encourage this Massachusetts to shoot at the Alabama. It would not go well for me if I started getting focused here. But my backup plan, you'll notice I'm showing an extreme amount of broadside. And that is the retard armor, for lack of a better term. Battleships at these close ranges will almost always shoot through a broadside narrow light cruiser like this. So the danger spot for me right now is actually when I conduct this turnout, because the battleship can overmatch me at any point in my hull and shoot basically directly into my citadel. So I actually want to be broadside when I'm out here in the open. So far, the Massachusetts, he's not even looking at me. I do have priority target on the captain, so I can see who's actually, so I can count the number of ships looking my way. Here, I'm just trying to chase down the Massachusetts. He's going to be running into an island. I know that we're going to be losing my Alabama here shortly. And I'm just trying to see if we can even up right here. You notice I'm just doing what I can to play cautious. I know I'm going to start taking some fire here. You can see the back guns rotating right now. And you see I'm really truing up, making myself fully broadside. Now, actually, the risk here is Massachusetts shooting HE. HE will actually do more damage here because he's going to overpin. That's a couple overpins right there. And here, just trying to deal more damage than I take in. Got another fire on the Massachusetts. I see that the key is coming around the corner. I mean, I haven't even talked about it, but I've got an Alabama that just YOLO'd right through the cap, and he ended up going down. I don't know what it was with battleships this game, but kind of is what it is. I actually thought that those shots were actually going to clip this island, but I was able to get by. And you can see the difference there. He actually got a full penetration on me because I was turned in. And that's one of the effects of angling your light cruiser against battleships. You just get wrecked. So try to remember that it's not always about angling your ship when you're in a light cruiser. If the ship that you're facing has a lot of penetration, just let him shoot straight through your ship and just accept the overpin damage as a last resort. Here I don't really have anybody that's able to spot for me. I am trying to finish off this Massachusetts right here. That doesn't really work. But one of the benefits, and you see the overpins I'm talking about right there. One of the issues that just lost my train of thought. Anyway, so that's me basically fighting a bit in the open water against battleships, things like that. Here's still where Atlanta shines. And I'm seeing that there's going to be a big push coming in here to ACAP. And I actually have a DD. He's actually from a reputable clan. And I am going to go to work here on basically everything coming around this flank. And newsflash, it's going to be beautiful. Again, you got to have patience. Wait for the ships to come into range. You're more of a defensive ship until you actually get the battleships and things like that. The battleships and the heavy cruisers, even 203s will overmatch your ship. So, and actually they're more dangerous because if you show broadside to a heavy cruiser with 203s, they're actually gonna be able to citadel you any which way you're looking. They're not gonna shoot clean through your hull like battleships. So be real sketchy about engaging in an open water fight with a heavy cruiser. I'm switching target to the Dallas. He's the lead target, but I'm also pretty sure I can shred this guy pretty quickly. And you can see just the effect that the HE, the fires, the basically the nightmarish hell that Atlanta is firing over the island, especially with somebody that knows how to use the island. Notice I'm not tight to the island. You know, I want to have my guns able to fire over the island, and I'm actually going to end up getting spotted trying to use this notch because the Dallas is making a smart play. He's trying to get under my guns, where if I was back here shooting over this part of the island, I couldn't shoot the Dallas right now. But because I moved out into this notch, I can still kill him. That's the Dallas going to go down. I'm just going to shoot the New Mexico. Again, broadside to the battleship in case he got shots on me. And just going to keep working this New Mexico over. Again, he doesn't have the arcs that I do. I'm just being that nasty, mean little Atlanta. And you can see just how rapidly the damage stacks up. The big thing is positioning yourself. Positioning yourself, let the damage come to you, and then you can actually, go to work on it. Even the Belfast is going to struggle to hit me there. Belfast actually takes a torpedo that makes this fight a lot cheaper for me. I was going to try to come out with AP. I see that he's angling a bit. Switch to HE. Let's just get it done. I hear that the enemy DD's up. Instantly going to turn in. I know torpedoes are coming. And between me and the Fantastique, we're just going to work this Kagero down. He's just dead to rights. I still have radar and everything. Now also notice on this build, I'm not running Superintendent. And I'm not, and I'm doing it that way because um, it gives me another 3-point skill. And with random matchmaking, you're limited typically to 4 destroyers in the match. 3 radars is pretty good enough. I'm basically banking on the fact that I'm probably gonna be dead but before I actually need to use 4 radars with a ship that has with a light cruiser that has 11.1 kilometer gun range. Now here again, angling it, not trying to angle at the key. This guy, whether I can't tell whether he's smart or not. He actually shoots HE at me, but I think he aims low. I don't know. Key's kind of got some wonky dispersion, but you can kind of see, the kind of panic moment when he actually shoots HE at me. Now, I do make a bit of a misplay. I'm actually trying to see if I can get out here to get to this Massachusetts to get the kill, because I believe that would be an arsonist ribbon if I can get it. I'm actually going to start shooting here to see if I can bait this Massachusetts into actually coming out and trying to pick a fight with me. You can see right here, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to convince the Massachusetts, oh no, the Atlanta's not actually going south. He's, coming out, turn around. And it doesn't work. I end up wasting a lot of time that screws up the next part of my damage farming because I'm going to end up not in the position to actually YOLO torp these guys down here. So again, one of the danger areas is being bow into the battleships because they can and will overmatch you. If good move, popping a spotter plane to see what I'm up to. Gonna try to shoot it down. I am gonna use my radar to help me out on the flip side. And I'm anticipating the key's gonna turn in. You see, I'm coming around the corner just flat broadside. Unfortunately, I kind of miffed the torps up. One goes behind, or no, I caught a piece of the island. I actually thought that I missed that. Nope, there's a bit of something hanging off that island that caught that torp. I was wondering why I didn't get that kill. But notice the position. I ended up angled to the Massachusetts. When he shot me, he just wrecked me. And that's what happens when you're angled to a battleship. You just get flat wrecked. So this video really shows some of the counterintuitive dodging that you need to do when you're trying to tank a battleship in a super light and in particular super thin cruiser like the Atlanta. The idea being, by the time your belt armor activates their shells, they're already passing through your ship before the shells actually can go off in your citadel. So compliments to my Fantastique. Um, we pretty much trashed that flank. And that was just glorious, just with 2 ships taking on that many ships. And that's what happens when you run into good players that know what's going on. Just sitting here looking at my team, trying to finish these guys off. Looks like some extra damage coming in from my Fantastique with the unrepairable fires, things like that. My Kaga is able to pick up the kill there. And I think he's going to get the drop off on the Massachusetts. Nope. Regardless, he's going to go down here momentarily, I believe. But so this is some of the stuff to expect if Atlanta doesn't get buffed. Again, I can't in good faith expect Wargaming not to adjust those ships because your average player is really going to struggle with not having AFT. Most of the maps, and especially the newer maps, they're not laid out for a light cruiser with 11-kilometer gun range. It's just not going to happen for most players. They're not going to be patient enough. They're not going to be looking at the mini map and seeing the opportunities that I laid out. They're not going to be able to use cover like an experienced player will, and all of that is going to result in a very frustrating ship for people. So the smart move is these ships are balanced with AFT uh, as part of the captain. I think that Wargaming, none of these ships are really overperforming, in my opinion. I think that Wargaming is just going to say, you know what, we're just going to bake AFT into the design of these ships and move on. That's just the smart play, in my opinion. If they'll do it or not, who knows? Um, anyway, Atlanta with no AFT. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. The invite to the Discord, um, as well as whatever captain I'm using on here. I apologize. I can't remember off the top of my head. I was mixing and matching, trying to figure out how I wanted to go with the captain. But I will link the correct captain in the description below. Hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.